Hello and welcome to episode 4 of Yarns and Books and Everything Fine. My name is Nina. I'm coming to you from the beautiful and very hot rural area here in Germany. We've got some kind of heat wave since some weeks, I might say. Just 1 or 2 days of rain in between, then another hot weather episode. Welcome back to everyone who's coming back to my try of a knitting podcast, and welcome to everyone who's new here. This is episode 4. As I told before, I decided to do finished object videos outside of the big podcast episodes. Last week I did the finished object video on the Werder Bremen boyfriend socks that I did for my boyfriend, as the name of this project says. If you're interested in this finished object video, you might just watch the video before this one here. What next? Oh yeah, you can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Mikea Luna. I will write it down below into the description box, and there will also be some short mentioning about advertising due to European and German law. You might have heard about it if you're from outside Europe. If you're from within Europe or from Germany, you already know about this new law. Sorry for the noise. So right into WIP. Last time, I think I told you last time that the next project will be something for me. And I decided that this will be the pincher shawl that I've started last year and it's waiting to be finished. And this is it. I've knit some new feathers within the last days. I think 4 or 5 feathers are new, and this is how much yarn I've got left. I think 4 more feathers might be possible. I've got a scale and I'm weighing out this bit of yarn every time I've finished the feather to see if another one is possible, or 2 maybe. The knitting needles I'm using for this project are these. I think these are Adi lace knitting needles. They were a free giveaway in a knitting pattern magazine that I got 2 years previous, yes. 3.5 millimeters, 80 centimeter cables, and they're quite good for this kind of project, but the needles aren't straight anymore. I'm not sure what I did. Okay, but they're still fine for knitting, everything's okay. And this yarn is by Ponderosa. It's Luxus high twist yarn, hand dyed for shawls and socks. The colorway is Polar Lights, which means or Polarlichter, Polar Lights in English, or Aurora Borealis. It's 80% merino extra fine, 20% polyamide on 100 grams, 400 meters. This is the tag, and this is their internet page. And the yarn is very soft and really, really beautiful. I like the colors. I think they're looking like peacock feathers. So this project is perfect. It's a pincher shawl, as I hopefully told you. And it's by, I'm too sorry, it's by Pinpilan Vangsai. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. and on nitty.com. It was from spring and summer 2016, and I started it last year. Yes, last year. Okay, and this project is living. One moment. And this project bag, it's by Taliana. I got it on Davanda. And yes, some summary kind of knitting project bag. Okay, Davanda. Yes, Davanda will be closing. So they told everyone who's got a shop there that they might travel to Etsy with their shops. Yes, I'm not sure if every shop will get an Etsy shop instead, but I know that one of my favorite German sock yarn dyers, Frau Odersocke, just created her Etsy shop, so everything is fine. Okay, and the next whip, which is just a sweet short bit more than 2 weeks ago, because okay, it was sleeping such a long time, is my 10 stitch twist. I think this is how much I've knit on it, and that's mainly because I decided to try some new knitting needles. I had some Knit Pro in 2.5 millimeter with a very long cable, I think 80 centimeters, and it wasn't just handable for just 10 stitches. Okay, that's a bit curious. This is how much I've already knit with the long needle or the long cable to needles. But now I got me this cute, sweet little baby needles, also 2.5 millimeters from Knit Pro. They are meant for knitting socks, but for just 10 stitches they are perfect. The pattern is this 10 stitch twist by I think Frankie Brown. Yes, Frankie Brown, and it's a free pattern on Ravelry, and it just moved into my Marilyn Monroe pop art bag, and I will knit on it now and then. And these were my whips. Sorry for the bling, just that you've heard shortly before. I got a message, I will answer it later, I think. Next will be a bit of dream knitting. Last time I've asked for some suggestions, I'm too sorry, for this beautiful sock yarn. It's a socks that rock lightweight in the colorway Hobbit Garden. It's 100% superwash merino, 370 meters on 155 grams. This is 405 yards. That's the tag. And these are just my colors. I'm really in love with them, and I really wish to knit with this yarn and with this colorway, but I wasn't sure which pattern to use. I just knew socks, so I asked for a suggestion for a beautiful sock pattern. No cabled sock pattern, maybe a lace sock pattern. That was everything I knew. And a friend of mine, Karina suggested the My Cup of Tea socks. It's a free pattern by Robin Lynn, which you can find on Ravelry. These are the socks. And this will be the project for this beautiful yarn. But this project will have to wait because something got in between. I will try to participate in a knit along in a sock knit along. I love to watch knitting podcasts while knitting. One of them is the one by the Periscoping Sisters. And Debbie Reese, one of the sisters, has a new sock pattern. It's the Drizzle Socks. You can find it on Ravelry. It's a paid for pattern that I got immediately when I saw it. It's really, really beautiful, I think. And she's holding a knit along for the socks, which will end on September 1st. That's more than 1.5 months to finish it for me, and I think I will be able to finish it, and that's really, really wonderful. I've been knitting so many socks this year, and I think I need just around 2 to 3 weeks for a pair of socks, which is wonderful for me, especially since I always wished to knit socks, but had a heavy second syndrome, and with the 2 at a time method, it's just perfect and manageable for me to knit wonderful, beautiful socks. And now I had to decide which yarn to use, which will lead us into a bit of new in. I told you before that I had an operation on my left ankle because last year I had broke my ankle. There was some metal inside, and this got out at the beginning of March. And every time when I'm ill, not every time, but most times when I'm ill, I need to buy me beautiful, beautiful things, and mainly knitting supplies, yarns, project bags, books, and so on and so on. So since March until I think June, there were quite some purchases, yarns and books and everything, yes. And everything fine, as my knitting podcast is named, yarns and books and everything fine. I'd like to show you all the things I purchased from March to June, but I will do it in a separate new in episode that I will be doing at the next weekend, maybe on Saturday, I think. Yes, I think I will do it on Saturday or on Sunday. I will have to see when I've got time for it. I will show you everything I got knitting related, and I hope you will like this episode. Some of the things I've shown before, but I will do an all in new things episode. But before, I will show you one of the yarns that came within this period, because this will be the yarn that I will be using for the drizzle socks. It's this beautiful skein. It's from Fiber for the People. She also has a podcast which is named Wool Needles Hands, and she can be found on Instagram as Wool Needles Hands, and Fiber for the People for her shop. And I got some of her beautiful yarns, and this is one of it. It's the colorway Seagull, and it's an MCN base, 80-10-10 merino cashmere nylon. It's so soft. It's a 4-ply, 436 yards on 100 grams, and I will have to make a beautiful yarn cake, and then I would start the beautiful drizzle socks with this colorway. and so soft. This will be very luxurious socks. Okay, this is one of the purchases from the last months, and because I'd like to wind it into a cake, I wish to show it today to you, so that you can admire it in all its beauty. Okay, that's on yarny things for this episode. The last point on my list is books. I purchased quite some new books. Not every one of them was or is knitting related. The knitting related books I will show to you at the weekend too, in my big new in episode. Everything else I will show you to you. I will show you today. So reading right now as first. I'm about to finish this book, Ostfriesenmoor by Klaus Peter Wolf. He's a German author who writes crime novels, and they are situated at the East Frisian coast. And it's a whole series of books, and this is book, I'm not sure. One moment. This is book number 7. This is book number 7 of the series, and I think there are 14 or 15 books of the series out, and they're really yeah, you can't stop reading them, and I think this will be finished tomorrow. This is everything I've got to read. And they aren't available in English or another language. Oh no, maybe they are available in English. I'm reading right now that there are 24 different languages for his books. So maybe you can find his crime novels also in English. I didn't know it. Maybe you can search for him. They're really good. And when I finish this one, I will start this book. It's new in for me. It's called Geister auf der Metropolitan Line. It's by Ben Aronovich. The original title is The Furthest Station. And it's a Peter Grant story. It's not that thick, so I think this will be finished really fast. But I like this series, so everything's fine. And then I had a bit of nonfiction mood. I'm not sure how I got into the idea to read this kind of books or on this topic, but I got me some books on Zizou. I got this one, a cute little book. It's The Finnish Art of Courage by Joanna Newland, and on the back it says Zizou, to have guts. It's about on how to cultivate Zizou, what Zizou means, and yes, I've read it, and I think I got some inspiration out of it. And because I'm not able to just buy one book on a theme, I got another one. I also got this one. It's a bit bigger than the other one. It's by Katja Panzar. It says Zizou, der finnische Weg zu Mut, Ausdauer und innerer Stärke. That means the Finnish way to courage. Oh, I'm too sorry. The Finnish way to Courage, Strength and Happiness. Something like this. The first one was in English. This one is in German. It's the same topic, just by another author and a bit of a different way of speaking about Sisu and how to cultivate Sisu and to get Sisu and what Sisu means. But it's also really interesting to read, and these two books I can really recommend. And I like to read about Sisu, and I think I got something out of it for me. Yes. Okay. Then one of the new crime novels, or this one is even a thriller, I see, is this one. It's also by a German author, by Christian Hardinghaus. It's the title says Die Hexe von Norderney, The Witch of Norderney. Norderney is an island at the East Frisian coast. It's one of my favorite vacation spots, and I got it while my last vacation there, and I'm really curious about this novel. I'm not sure what I will read about. Okay, it's a crime novel or a thriller, and it is situated on Norderney, but that's everything I know about this one. Then I got me some more books. The next ones, or the next two books, are romantasy novels, as we say here, romantic fantasy. It's this one by G.A. Aiken, Dragon Heat. And the English title is Bring the Heat. And it's the Dragon series, I think it's called. And it's the next one of the series, or the last one that came out here in Germany. And then I've got a book by Nalini Singh. It's Engels Gift, Gilded der Jäger. The English title is Archangel's Viper, a Guild Hunter novel. It's a Guild Hunter novel series, and it's the latest book that came out here in Germany. So these two are romantic fantasy. And then I got me this one. Harry Potter, A History of Magic. It's for the 20 years of Harry Potter magic. It's a spellbinding companion to a unique exhibition. It's by Bloomsbury, and it's really heavy. It has some wonderful, beautiful pictures in it, and I'm happy to have it. I'm a Potterhead, obviously, and this will give me some great time in watching and reading it. These were all the new books I got. I also got me some books on book flea markets. This one is a bit older. I think I got it at the end of April, before I got on vacation to Norderney. Some of you may know this box. It's The Lord of the Rings, or in Germany it's called Der Herr der Ringe, by J.R.R. Tolkien. Yes. It's a 3 books volume, and it's really, really old. It's nearly as old as I am. Okay, I'm not that old, but it's from 1987, and there are 2 two possible. Oh, I'm not sure. Two possible. Words. I've lost it. Okay. This is the version in German that I like best. That's the version I read first. There's the green version, as it's called on in between all the Tolkien enthusiasts. There's also a red version, but it's a bit curious to read if you know the green version. And I got it, and I like it. My dad had this volume, and he read it more than one time. I read it more time, and my brother read it more than one time. My brother has it. It's he's owning it right now. He got it from my dad, and but all the pages are loose, and so it's more a treasure than a to be read book. And these look like new, perfect. So I will really love to read them again. And last weekend, my boyfriend and I, we've been to another books flea market around here where we live, and I got some knitting related books, some very old knitting related books, and some other books. One of the other books is this one, Marilyn Monroe, My Story. It's just a cute little book about the life and being of Marilyn Monroe. It says told by herself. I'm not sure how true this is, but I love Marilyn Monroe and her work, and so I think I will really enjoy this book. It's just a small volume, so nothing special. This one is from October 1980, so it's 1 year older than me. It says the original title is My Story. Okay. So, but I'm not sure when was it published first? No. It says copyright 1974 by Milton H. Green. So I think he only told everyone that this is an autobiography by Marilyn Monroe. But it's okay. Why not? So, and then I got me this book. This is Audrey Hepburn as her character in Breakfast at Tiffanys, and the book's by Truman Capote. It's called Breakfast at Tiffanys and Other Stories. And I'm not sure from when this volume is. 1963, I think. It's in German. It's a quite nice hardcover book. A bit thicker than the Marilyn Monroe one, and yes, I'm happy to have it, and I'm curious to read it. Breakfast at Tiffanys is a wonderful film, so I'm really interested to read this original story. And the last one I got on Sunday, that's when the book flea market was, this volume, Mein Garten im Hause, My Garden at Home. and it's from 1976, so it's a lot older than me, 5 years older than me, and there are so many interesting things on flowers for inside the flat, for outside in the garden, for on the balcony, water gardens, everything. So many interesting ideas and things and tips how to do bonsai trees. Very fun. So I will have a lot. Oh, orchids! I love orchids. So this is a really interesting one too. Yes, I think that's it for today. A bit over 30 minutes. A bit unorganized, but it's just like me. Yes. Next weekend, the new episode with everything rayan knitting related. Maybe I will have finished the pincher shawl. If I have finished the pincher shawl, I will do an FO episode, and I will show it shortly at the beginning of the new episode too, so that there's some real knitting in it too. That's for today. Have a nice evening. Hope to see you again. And I'd like to read your comments, your inspirational ideas, your critique. Yes. Goodbye. See you soon.